Welcome students. In today's class, we will try to look into one journal program. Okay, journal program number second one in the section A. Write a C program to read one-dimensional array and print sum of all elements along with inputted array elements using the dynamic memory allocation. The program is very simple. What it asks is that we need to just create certain memory locations for an one-dimensional array using the dynamic memory location concept. Okay, once we do that one, then whatever the elements we read it, print all those elements and also at the same time calculate the sum of all those elements. It is pretty simple. We will start with the program writing. You can also help me in writing this particular program. Okay, now what are the variables we require here? To make it simple, what I will do is that we will take one particular pointer to store the elements of those array members. Okay, rest all variables like the total number of elements in the array, variable I, variable sum, all these we will declare it to be a static. Only the array elements we will make it to be a dynamic. Okay, so that means I require certain variables here. The first one is a pointer, which will be pointing to a group of or a set of elements. Then I require n, that is total number of elements in the array, I for the looping variable for the for loop, and then I need to calculate the sum of every element, right? So I require one more variable as sum. In this, you can notice these are going to be what? See, all these are static, but we will make use of this particular pointer p, which will point to the heap memory section, wherein we are going to store the elements of an array. Okay, now we need to know how many numbers we want to enter into that particular array. So what we will do, we will put up a simple printf statement, printf. Okay, we will just say how many elements. How many elements? We will read those many elements from the user's choice. So scanf %d followed by ampersand n. Okay, now we need to create the sufficient memory space to store these many elements, to store these n elements. Now tell me students, which one should we use here? Should we use the malloc function or should we use the calloc function?
Calloc function.
We can use any one among those two, but more preferably we can make use of the calloc function because calloc helps us to allocate the elements a contiguous manner, one after the other. It will help us to allocate the memory locations. So we will first create the memories for those many elements. So p is equals to, since we want to store an integer variables, we will convert our pointer to an integer pointer. Then name of the function, that is calloc. Okay, now tell me, calloc function, how many parameters does this particular calloc function accepts? How many parameters it takes? Calloc function, how many parameters it takes? Look into this syntax. Calloc n comma block size. So how many parameters are there? Two parameters, right? The first one is size of the particular, that is the numbers we want to store in, that is n comma, and every element of this particular data is going to be a size of integer. So size of int, it will be the second parameter. Now based upon the number what we enter for all those elements, the memory block will be allocated. So size of int, here it is going to be 2 blocks. Suppose if I enter the n value as say 5, then 5 blocks will be allocated like this way. For all these particular 5 blocks will be allocated, starting from 1001 to 1010 memory locations will be allocated. Okay, when the n value is 5, and the pointer p will hold the first memory address of these consecutive memory blocks. The first memory address is what? 1001. So that 1001 will be stored in the pointer p. Okay, now next we need to read those many elements. So we will put up a simple message, a printf statement. enter the elements. Enter the elements. Now we will read all those elements using the for loop. For I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay. Now scanf percentage d. Now, can you tell me, students, what I should write here after percentage d semicolon? What should I write here? I need to store those many elements, those values in these corresponding memory blocks or in these particular memory locations. So what should I write it here?
P plus I.
P plus I. So I value will start from 0 and it will end at 4. So from the P plus 0 means what? The first memory location. Whatever element I enter now, that will be stored over here. So this particular for loop will get executed for those many times as n belongs to what n contains. In this example, n contains 5. So this for loop will be executed for 5 times. So this scanf, first time I becomes 0. So that I0 means what? P plus 0 is going to be again 1001 itself. Suppose if I enter the first number as 20 and the 20 will get stored into these two memory blocks. Next time I gets incremented now. So I becomes 1. So that means what? 1001 plus 1 means it is not a simple addition, but rather it is a scale factor addition. So 1 means here 1 into 2 bytes. So next time P plus I is going to be what? It will be 1003. So if I enter another number, say 40, that 40 will get stored into these memory blocks. Like that, 5 times this particular for loop will get executed, and every time it will store the value in the consequent memory blocks. Say, these are the elements I'm going to enter. Okay. Once these elements are entered, next what we should do, we should print the sum of all the elements along with the inputted array elements. So we need to have one more for loop wherein we are going to print all these elements along with the total sum of those elements. Okay. Now, since we want to calculate the total sum, let us initialize this sum is equals to 0 at the beginning. The beginning, what we will do, we will initialize the sum is equals to 0. Okay. So let us write a printf statement. Printf, the elements are /n, and then here we will write our for loop. For again I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay. Now here we are going to write two statements here. One to print every element, and then at the simultaneously we will write one more statement to calculate the sum. Okay, look at here how I am going to write the statement here. Print f. So I just want to print the element, so I can do percentage d, and let me put it a /n so that the next element will be printed on the next line. And here I want to retrieve the value located at every element, right? So value located at 1001, value located at 1003, so on up to value located at 1009. To retrieve that one, I need to get the value. So indirection operator. So indirection operate within that p plus I. P plus I. Then complete the semicolon. This statement, printf statement, will print all these values 20, 40, 10, 30, and 50 on a separate lines. Now, along with this one, we will calculate the sum. So sum is equals to what? Sum plus the corresponding element. So corresponding element I can get it was asterisk again P plus I. Okay. Now, students, I hope you remember, right? This is, one second. This is what? What type of operation it is? Shorthand notation for the arithmetic operation. So this is equals to what actually? Sum equals to sum plus this value. It is equivalent to what? Suppose if we have a statement A equals to A plus I, then how do we write that one? We can write it as A equals to A plus I. Do you remember, students? Students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand this notation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the last statement would be just to print the sum. Printf sum of array elements equals to %d and one more slash n you can have, and here we will display the sum value. Okay, let us compile the program. No errors. Execute. So how many elements? Say 5 elements, 20, 40, 10, 30, and 50. The elements are those elements, and the sum of the array element is 150. Okay. Now, only the change probably you might see here in this code is this statement. I have included the calculating the sum of elements at the time of printing individual elements. Students, any part of the code if you don't understand, if you're not understood, please let me know. I will explain it once again. We are just making use of the pointer concept, that is dynamic memory allocation, to allocate the memory for array elements. Here array is not declared as a static array, right? We have created a pointer, and this particular pointer is capable of storing those many elements which we define it to be. So n elements, and every element takes the size of the integer data type. Then we read those many elements by writing a scanf statement wherein p plus I from 0 to n minus 1, it is going to populate the memory locations and store the corresponding values onto those memory locations. Then in order to retrieve the values at those memory locations, we just need to use the indirection operation, that is asterisk symbol. So this asterisk means what? It will give us the value located at this memory location. So to print, as the program states what, we need to print the sum along with the inputted array elements. So both the things are done in a single for loop. We are just displaying the every element, and at every time when we display, we keep on adding the sum. So this is the shorthand notation, students. It is something similar to this. If you're not understanding that one, it is something as sum is equals to sum plus asterisk p plus I, semicolon. In general, you can say that A is equals to A plus B, right? That can be written in a shorthand notation like this. Any doubts here, students? If there are any doubts, please do ask. Okay, I will give this program at the end of this session for your practice. This is your journal program, so you need to practice this particular program. Okay, now coming on to the next concept, we have looked into what a malloc function is and what a calloc function. Now we will look into the last one, that is realloc. Yes, Shweta has pointed me that we have not written free statement. Yes, Shweta, you are absolutely correct. We missed to write a free function, which mandatorily we need to write as a best practice to deallocate the memory. Very good. We need to mention the free function. What this free will do? It will deallocate the memory, whatever is been pointed by the particular pointer. Yes, agree with that. Okay. Now, the first one, malloc, we have studied, wherein dynamically we can allocate a single block of memory, wherein every block of memory contains garbage values. The second one is calloc. Calloc is used to contiguously allocate memory locations. Okay, it can contain many number of memory blocks, wherein every block contains a default value as 0. It will never contain a garbage value. It contains a default value as the 0 values. Okay, it depends upon again the data type, students. If it is an integer, then it contains a 0. If it is a floating point number, it contains 0.0. Depending upon what data type, the default values are stored. The next function is the realloc. Realloc, the name itself suggests that it is reallocation of the memory block. Okay, before we study what a realloc is, that let us understand why this realloc is there. Okay, why reallocation of the memory block? Assume that I have a pointer p. Okay, I have a pointer p which can store, say, a single element. During the execution of the program, I may think that, or I may be in a situation wherein I want to allocate, instead of only one element, I want to make this particular pointer p to allocate for 2 more values. Since it was initially having a 1 element, now I want to make a modification such a way that this p can store multiple values. That means I want to change the size of memory block, whatever this p can point for. I can increase the size, or if required, I can reduce the size also. So basically, I may be in a situation, or a programmer may be in a situation wherein the programmer wants to resize the given pointer. So to do that one, to implement that one, the C programming language supports a dynamic memory function called as reallocate. What is reallocate? How it looks like? Okay, let me write the syntax of that. Syntax of realloc is the pointer, that is p, equals to ptr equals to, again the casting we need to do, that is typecast to a particular pointer, then the function, that is realloc. This particular function realloc again takes 2 parameters. The first one is the pointer which we want to make modification for. The first one is the pointer to which we want to make a modification for. So most of the time it is whatever this pointer we have written on the left hand side, the same pointer we will use as the first parameter, because this particular parameter we are going to change its size. The second parameter is the new size, usually we specify. Earlier the pointer might be having some particular size, and we want to make a modification to that particular size, then that new size we need to provide it as the second. PTR should be already declared with certain size, and that particular size we are going to modify it. Then we need to use this particular syntax. For an example, consider we have a pointer p. Okay, assume that we are making use of the malloc function, say malloc, and I would have declared it to be of, say, int size of int. Like this I have declared, wherein this p holds what? P, or we can say p points to single element. Now at the runtime, if I want to make a changes to this particular p, then I need to make use of the realloc. How I can make use of? P equal to int asterisk, then the function is realloc. Now 2 parameters it will take. What is the first parameter? It is the pointer. Now which pointer here? It is the same pointer p, so I can write it as p here. Earlier the original size of this p was what? Size of int. This was the original pointer, the size. Now I want to make the modification to the size, wherein instead of pointing it to the only single element, I want it to point to the 3 more elements. Okay, in that case I can make a corresponding change to here. So pointer p, the new size I will give it as here 3. So when I give 3, it indicates that now this pointer, which was of the type integer, which was having the integer values, containing the integer values, now it can point it to the not only to a single element, but to the 3 different elements. Now can we say that this particular p is now modified wherein it can point to the 3 more elements. Earlier it was having only one, it was pointing to only one element. Now it is pointing to the 3 elements. So this way we can make use of the realloc function to modify the dynamic memory at runtime. Suppose later in the program, if we think that we want to reduce the memory size from 3 elements to the 2 elements, in that case, we can again do it by writing one more statement like this. P is equals to int asterisk realloc. Now, instead of 3, you point it to only 2 elements. So this way, we can make use of the realloc function to dynamically change the number of memory bytes or the number of memory locations this particular pointer P can point at. Okay, let us look into a simple program here, students, to understand better how this particular P or realloc works. Okay, let me open a program. Okay, see here. I will do one thing. I will remove all these things. Let it be only this much. Okay, now I require one pointer, say asterisk P, and one variable I for the iteration. The next, I will allocate only one element for the first time. So I will write one statement, printf, enter one element. Enter one element. Okay, pay attention, students. Enter one element. So first, let me create the memory for that. So memory can be created as P equals to int asterisk malloc size of int. So now what this particular statement, line number 11, will do, it will allocate a single block of memory to store one particular element, right? Now, I think I will take this statement below. That would be more proper, I would say. Okay, now, the memory is allocated here for single element, and then here I'm putting a scanf statement. Scanf %d and p. So it will read a single element here. Okay, now if I want to print that, say printf the first element is equals to %d / n, and here asterisk p semicolon. Now let us quickly check it out, this particular code, if there are any errors or not. Okay, there are no errors, only one warning that is related to I. So far what we have done in this code, students, we have declared single block of memory to point it for the pointer P, and we are asking user to enter an element, and then we are displaying that particular element. Now we will make use of the code wherein we will try to reallocate the memory blocks. We'll try to reallocate the memory blocks for pointer. How it can be done? Suppose if I want to have 2 more elements to be added, that is total 3 elements. Okay, in that case, I can increase the size here. So I will just print up one statement, that is increasing the size for pointer P. Just for understanding, I'm putting this statement. Now I can write a realloc statement here like P equals to, okay, as per the syntax, int asterisk I need to have, and then the function name is realloc. Now, how many parameters it will take? Realloc function takes. How many parameters realloc function takes?
The 2 parameters.
2 parameters. What is the first parameter? First
Sir,
parameter is
P.
what? The pointer.
Sir, P.
In this case, it is P
Pointer.
itself. And second parameter is the new size, right? Now earlier I was having pointer P to point at only one element or single memory block. Now I want it to be for 3 elements, so I need to provide it as a 3. Okay, now what I will do, I will read the additional 2 numbers. Try to understand. Initially it was having pointing to only one memory element, and we have read that element. Suppose if I have entered the value of p as 10, so the 10 will be there as the first element. Now next I did increase to point it to the 3 elements. Out of those 3, already first element I have already read, that is 10. Now I want to read the next 2 elements, that is second element and the third element. So for that, what I will do, I will write a for loop here. Just pay attention here how I'm writing the for loop. Before that, I think it would be good to print a statement. Printf, enter 2 more elements. Enter 2 more elements. Now for, since the first element I have already read, now I want to read the second and the third element. So I will start I with not 0 but with 1. For I equal to 1, I less than 3, I plus plus. Then scanf, since the integer, so percentage d, comma p plus I. P plus I. Look at the change here. I am not starting the for loop with 0. If I start with the 0, then it indicates the first element. But here first element I have already read as part of this statement. So now I want to read the next 2 statements or next 2 values. So I p plus I will do, wherein I value will start from 1. How many times this for loop will execute, students? Can you tell me? How many times this particular for loop will get executed?
2 times.
2 times. One with I value as 1, second time I value as 2. Okay, now let us try to display all those 3 elements. So printf. So this time we will print all the 3 elements. The elements are, let's have a /n here. For, since I want to print all the 3 elements, I will start with I equal to 0. I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Printf, percentage d /n, and then asterisk p plus I, semicolon. Okay, let us check for the compilation errors. Any syntax errors are there or not? There are no errors. Execute the program. Now enter one element. Say I entered it as a 10. Now what it says, the first element is 10, which I have entered already. Now increasing the size for pointer p. Now I am increasing the total size so that it can contain 3 elements. So enter 2 more elements. Let's say 20 and 30, and enter. And this time when I continued it displayed 10, 20, and 30. If you look into the program, initially we declared pointer to only point at only one single block of memory. If you look into this statement, malloc, we are using the malloc function. How many elements it can store? Only one integer element. But later in the execution, during the execution, we may come across it with situations wherein we want to increase the size. In that case, we can make use of the realloc function, which will change the size this particular pointer p can point at. Okay, we increased it to the new size as a 3. Then we entered the 2 more elements, and then we displayed all those 3 elements using these lines. For the point of examination, students, you may get a question related to the syntax and an example. Okay, they may ask what is realloc, write its syntax with example. So you need to just write in a couple of sentences what realloc does and the syntax of that, and then the example of that. Okay, understood, students, this particular program?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will share all the code with you. Anybody else? Anybody having any doubts here? If there are any doubts, please do ask. Last time I have shared you till 11 program. So now I have to share the next programs. 12, 13, 14 to these programs. Okay. Now, students, did you receive the notes? Have you received the notes? We had planned for a single copy of a notes that can be given for both A and B divisions. Did you receive notes from the B division, CR and LR from them?
No, sir.
No? Okay. I will just ask. If it is not shared, then I will ask them to share with you. Okay. Now, in the notes, the concepts related to the pointers is given there, the memory allocation and all the concepts with the pointers. That is pointer and arrays, pointer and strings, pointer and structures, pointer and functions. Okay, these concepts are there, and the certain examples are given, certain programs are given. Okay, those all the notes you are supposed to write it in your Facebook. In addition to that, I had given you few more codes, few more examples or the programs I had given. Those particular programs also you are supposed to write in the Facebook. Whatever is given in the notes, you write all those programs. Once you finish with that, in the next, whatever programs I have given, if it is something like there might be duplicate, the programs which I had given earlier, that might be covered in the notes. If it is not covered, then you are supposed to write the additional programs in the Facebook. Let me share all these code. What I will do, I will share this code directly with the CR and LR of this class. Then they will circulate this code in WhatsApp. Instead of I sharing it every time through the share code, I will zip all these C programs together, and then I will just send it to a CR or LR. Then they will send it back to you.